Greatness demands sacrifice. There is a price you pay in becoming the best. Few have paid more of a price than Cristiano Ronaldo, and it has earned him almost everything football has to offer. Yet there is still one trophy missing. And that interests me, because if one trophy can make people question one of the greatest footballing careers of all time, how often do we do the same in our own lives? We focus in on what we haven't achieved and forget everything we've gained in pursuit of it. So I wanted to understand what makes Cristiano Ronaldo exceptional. And with his final World Cup already underway, one question kept bothering me. How does someone spend over 20 years at the top and still find the motivation to keep going? And what can we learn from Ronaldo and his mindset to reach our own goals? To answer this, we have to take it back to where it all started. Before the trophies, before the money and fame, greatness demanded sacrifice. A sacrifice with no guarantee that it would be worth it. At just 12 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo made one of the biggest decisions of his life so far. He left his hometown Madeira and moved nearly 1,000 kilometers away to join Sporting CP's academy in Lisbon. His family was back in Madeira, and everything familiar to him was gone. Every major step that he took forward required giving up something first. His vision required sacrifice. And this is where a lot of people get stuck with achieving their goals. Everybody wants success. We all want extraordinary outcomes. But few people are willing to pay an extraordinary price to get there. Every meaningful goal comes with sacrifice. The question isn't whether or not there is a price. The question is whether the goal you have matters enough to pay it. And for Ronaldo, this price was only beginning to rise. The higher he would rise, the more the price would demand from him. There were millions of talented kids. Millions of kids who dreamt of becoming a professional footballer. Most never came close. So what made Ronaldo different? Because it wasn't just talent. Ronaldo discovered something early. Something that most people never discover throughout their entire lives. He found his obsession, and the thing he would devote his entire life to, which was football. If you haven't guessed already, football is something you could think of as Ronaldo's vehicle. But the deeper story isn't just about the vehicle, it's about the person behind it. Competitiveness, confidence, an obsession with learning and improving. These are just some of the traits that Ronaldo has. Those traits could have been used in any other area of life, and football just happened to be the right fit. What if Ronaldo never took football seriously? What if he gave up when things got difficult? Most people spend their entire lives looking for the perfect opportunity to start. Most people spend too long focusing on the vehicle, without looking at the traits needed. Ronaldo knew what it would take, and his obsession was about to take him somewhere that would change his life forever. Sporting Lisbon played Manchester United in a friendly to celebrate their new stadium. Sporting defeated United 3-1, where an 18-year-old Ronaldo put on a performance so good that many United players urged Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him. And just 6 days later, United completed the €12.4 million transfer. His breakthrough moment was the result of thousands of small improvements that nobody else saw. The people who achieve extraordinary results are the ones who act well before the results appear, well before anyone believes in them. Because a winning mindset has to come first. For Ronaldo, that mindset was about to be tested in a way that it hadn't been before. The bigger the stage became, the heavier the pressure would get. At this point, Ronaldo had proved that he was talented and committed. But now came the hardest part, living with the pressure that comes with success. When Ronaldo arrived at United, the talent was obvious, but he was still physically weak in comparison to a lot of Premier League players. He could be inconsistent and would be criticised for holding the ball when a better option to pass would appear. Labelled as selfish, but he was still figuring things out. However, at the same time, another force was emerging. The special one. On June 2nd, 2004, Jose Mourinho arrived at Chelsea, and they won the league the same year he arrived. Then, the next year they strengthened even further. While United were trying to close the gap, Chelsea looked unstoppable. The challenge for United and Ronaldo was getting harder. But what followed was one of the most controversial moments of his career so far. The 2006 World Cup. Portugal vs England in the quarterfinals. In the 62nd minute, Wayne Rooney fouls one of the Portuguese defenders. Ronaldo then rushes over to the referee and demands a red card for his United teammate. The referee then produces a red card, Rooney is sent off, and the cameras catch Ronaldo looking to the Portuguese bench and giving them a wink. Portugal would go on to win the match in penalties, but the British fans and media were not happy. Almost overnight, Ronaldo became one of the most disliked players in England. Away fans booed him every time he would touch the ball.
Ronaldo would come inside, and he pulled that one as well, but he's got the right idea in these conditions.
The criticism became so intense that Ronaldo reportedly considered leaving United altogether. Why stay somewhere that seems to hate you? But Sir Alex Ferguson convinced him to stay and said to him, walking away isn't courage. And while this was all happening, Ronaldo kept improving, and he was starting to become a completely different player. Not just a flashy winger, but a more complete footballer. His passing improved.
Lovely touch again from Ronaldo.
His decision-making improved, and eventually the results began to appear. Across his first 3 seasons at Man United, Ronaldo scored 27 goals. And then in his 4th season alone, he scored 23. Progress is almost never linear. People expect that improvements happen in a gradual straight line. It might feel like you're not making any progress, but then one day it all clicks. And we're not here to compare ourselves to Ronaldo, we're just here to learn everything we can about his mindset. Everything clicked, and that's exactly what happened for United as well. Manchester United won the Premier League that season. In the 2006/07 season, United won the Premier League for the first time in 4 years. The player who had been criticised for inconsistency was shaping into becoming one of the world's greatest players, and he never stopped searching for ways to improve, even when things went wrong. Ronaldo needed the Champions League to prove he was the best, and in 2008, Ronaldo got his chance. Manchester United reached the Champions League final against Chelsea. In the 26th minute, Ronaldo opened the scoring for United, with Frank Lampard equalising for Chelsea in the 45th. The game would end 1-1 in extra time, and thus would be sent to penalties. Ronaldo misses his penalty. And then, Chelsea captain John Terry slips and misses his penalty as well. Now in sudden death, Nicolas Anelka takes his penalty for Chelsea, and Van der Sar saves, securing the Champions League trophy for United. The same player who had been booed, questioned and criticised was now standing at the top of club football. At 23 years old, Ronaldo won the Golden Boot for the Premier League, and soon after, won the Ballon d'Or. The dream he had chased ever since leaving Madeira had become a reality. The moment Ronaldo reached the top, he started looking for the next challenge. And that challenge was waiting for him in Madrid. In 2009, Real Madrid would pay a world record fee of €94 million to bring him to Spain. The pressure could not have been higher. Yet Ronaldo started exactly how you would expect him to start, by making history. He became the first Real Madrid player to score in each of his first 4 matches. But almost immediately, another obstacle appeared, an ankle injury that ruled him out for 7 weeks. And while he was sidelined, Another story was beginning to dominate football. Lionel Messi. In 2009, Messi won the Ballon d'Or, with Ronaldo finishing second. The next year, Messi won it again. And then again. For 4 consecutive years, Messi dominated. And Ronaldo kept finding himself compared to the same player over and over. How many people can keep going and not give up when millions of people are telling you that someone else is better? The easy response would be to give up and accept defeat. Instead, Ronaldo kept improving. Ronaldo never stopped believing another level was available to him. Even when his pace started to decline, he adapted and evolved. In 2016, Zinedine Zidane was appointed as Real Madrid manager. He saw the potential in moving the then 30-year-old Ronaldo into a more central role. One of the most underrated ways of becoming the best version of yourself is adapting and welcoming change when necessary. The version of Ronaldo winning the Ballon d'Or in 2008 wasn't the same player winning it years later. He kept adapting and reinventing himself again and again. Which brings me to one of my favourite moments of his career so far. Portugal vs France in the Euro 2016 final. But then disaster. Dimitri Payet goes in with a heavy challenge that injures the Portuguese captain's knee. Despite trying his best to play through it, on the 25th minute, Ronaldo was carried off in a stretcher. For most players, that would be the end of their influence on the match. You're off injured, what can you do to help the team? But not Ronaldo, and if anything, he became louder, spending the match on the sidelines, giving instructions and encouraging teammates, refusing to leave the game mentally. But after 90 minutes was all done, it was still 0-0. The match went into extra time, and Portugal decided to make a substitute, Eder. Before sending the substitute striker on, Ronaldo pulled him aside and told him he believed in him and that he would score the winning goal. And in the 109th minute of extra time, from 25 yards out, he unleashed a shot into the bottom corner. Eder had won the game, and Portugal were the champions of Europe. Not only Eder's individual brilliance, Ronaldo had shown his great leadership. Sometimes growing as a person means becoming someone new. A goal scorer becomes a leader, a winger becomes a striker, and an individual becomes a captain. Ronaldo kept evolving and adapting. More Ballon d'Ors followed, bringing his total to 5. More Champions Leagues followed, and after conquering Spain, he was looking for a new challenge, a new country and a new league. In 2018, Ronaldo joined Juventus with a new set of expectations. And just like before, just like he had done everywhere else, he delivered. He became the fastest player in Juventus history to reach 100 goals, and proved his success wasn't tied to one team, one manager or one system. For Ronaldo, success was never the finish line. It was proof another level to him existed. And after everything he had achieved, one challenge still remained. The trophy that had followed Ronaldo his entire career. The conversation keeps coming back to one thing: the World Cup. But one achievement does not define an entire career. As if greatness only counts once all the boxes are checked. And maybe that's the answer to the question we started with. What is the cost of greatness? The cost is becoming so obsessed that giving up is not an option. But that's also what makes greatness to anyone possible. Because greatness in the story wasn't about football. Football was the vehicle, and the real story is the person behind it. The habits, the discipline, the resilience, and the relentless desire to improve. Because a lot of us have our own version of the World Cup as well. The thing that will finally make us happy. The thing we think we need to feel successful. But what if that's not the point? What if we've spent so much time thinking about the things we don't have and forget everything we've gained and who we've become in pursuit of it? I make these videos to help you reach your goals. If you want to become the best version of yourself, I'm confident you've found the right YouTube channel. Because greatness isn't measured by what you get at the end.
Makes out major.
It's measured by who you're willing to become along the way. But how do we unlock our creative potential? If that's something that interests you, watch this video next as we go through Rick Rubin's creative mindset.